Hey, I'm back. This is M, super coach and CEO of the Soul Focus Group. I love being a part of the Soul Focus Group. I love it because we are so committed to what we are doing. We have a team of people that are actually doing the work. We're not just talking the talk, we're walking the walk. And sometimes it's not easy, but we are committed to it. And the people that come to experience what we give always experience the feeling of being welcome, invited, and like they belong, because we want you to know you do belong. If you are looking to transform your life, you're looking to get in alignment with yourself so that such that you are 100% on your own side, then the Soul Focus Group is for you. We always have open arms. We're ready to accept you to come in. It's not just about us doing training and coaching and mentoring, but it's about the development of people. Our mission is about solidarity, human solidarity, but you can't come to human solidarity without first experiencing self-solidarity. So self-solidarity will bring you to human solidarity. I say to people all the time, there's a fundamental problem with us believing that, the people that we have to unite with, we always unite based upon race, because race is missing. There's a lot of holes missing in it. There's not a good place to organize or to unite around. You have to unite around something greater than race, because race is missing so many different components. Race is missing honesty, because race itself is not real. Racism is real. Race biologically is not real. Racism is extremely real because it's an ideology. So, but thinking that we're going to unite and bring people together just solely based on skin color, it's a fallacy, and it's full of holes. It's full of problems when you think about it, because one of the reasons why every movement that has ever taken place have been fraught from the inside out, not the outside in. Why? Because we have to unite around something greater than skin color. We have to unite around honesty, integrity, right, and truth. And if we're not uniting around honesty, integrity, and truth, then what do you have? What do you have? You have people, a whole bunch of people talking, a whole bunch of people who are still not in the mindset, in their first mind, in order to operate and to unite in harmony with one another to get something done for real, to create something. So what mind are you in? What mind are you in? Are you in your first mind or in your second mind? Now, that's why I left off in the last video. When I was thinking about what my grandparents would always say to me. When I say my grandparents, more my grandmothers, my grandmother, my great grandmother, my great aunt, they were all in my life, and I was so blessed to have that kind of wisdom be poured into me at a very young age. And they poured a lot of wisdom into me. A lot of things that I know because of their nudging, and they're influencing me to check things out here and to check things out there. I was always the kind of child who hung around more mature people, because I was always fascinated by the stories that they would tell and what they knew. And I wanted to know, because I always had this propensity to want to solve the problems that exist in our lives today. And I've always been motivated and inspired by that mission alone. So what I saw was that there was a missing power. We were not in relationship with our power. We were out of relationship with our power. And I saw it among men more than I saw it among anything, among black men in our community, because I saw women running the community more than anything else. I don't know, some people say, well, men have been this, that, and the other. Listen, in the black community, in the church, women run the church. If there's any black men that believe otherwise, you haven't figured it out yet. Women run the church. They've always run the church. And they've always pretty much run the community. Of course, they've had some bright spots and spots where you had some men who were actual leaders. But for the most part, because of what we've come out of, women were the ones raising the kids, leading the community, maybe not up front, but in the background in a lot of ways. They were pulling the strings and making things happen. So growing up, I saw power in women before I saw power in men. Now, a lot of you may not agree with me, and some of you may even get upset that I'm saying this, but it's the truth. I saw power in women long before I saw power in men. And so there was a lot of women who were, like I said to you before, were breathing wisdom into me in a way that I think most people couldn't see at the time. So they were very wise, right? Say all that to say this. They would say to me on a regular basis, listen, grandson, make sure you follow your first mind. Now, when I was growing up, I didn't know what that meant. I could only feel what it meant, but I wasn't intellectually in tune with what it meant, but I trusted my feelings. What they were saying to me was, follow your instincts, follow your intuition, follow your gut, follow your common sense, your first mind. Now, what I discovered later as I would continue my journey, I would come to understand that the first mind is the soul. Soul, that's who we are. We are our first mind. So, and in our soul, there are components that speak to us, that align with us, that tells us what to do. I was watching a movie the other night, and there was a line in the movie where this young girl said that something inside me told me not to get in the truck with the guy. And so I listened, and it saved my life, right? So there's something inside of us that is communicating with us, and it's soul. And soul communicates through instincts, through intuition, through common sense, through gut feeling. So first mind, right? And almost immediately when we come into this world, we are taught to doubt our first mind, because we are constantly being told that what you think is not the right thing to think, that what you see is not right for you to see. I remember as a child, I had a certain view of life, and it wasn't like a naive view. It was a view of what was possible. Like most children come out into the world and they see possibilities. They believe that things are possible. And then not too long after being in this world, the adult that have already been beat down on, they beat down on the kids, not physically, but mentally, by telling them what is not possible. Today I think it's getting a little better, because we see a lot of the kids, the younger people, who are creating things that we never thought possible because they won't let go of their belief in possibility. So now, in the world is constantly trying to tell you that you can't do. And so after a while, by the time you reach 7 years old, the programming has gotten deep into your subconscious, and you have now taken on the second identity, the second mind that has been given to you by the world, which we call the ego. And the ego is employed by and works for the world. It leads you to where you don't necessarily want to go. It gets you to chase behind things that don't fulfill you. No matter how much of it you get, you become like a bucket with a big hole in it. No matter how much water you pour into it, it becomes empty almost immediately. And then it leads us to believe that there's something wrong with us. So when the things of this world don't make us happy, and it's not that the things of this world can't make us happy, because they really don't. No thing outside of yourself is really making you happy. It is the reason why you went behind it. It's the reason why you pursued it that makes you happy. Did you pursue it from your first mind, or did you pursue it from your second mind? Because if you pursued it from your second mind, then the likelihood of it fulfilling you is slim to none. Because the way the ego works is the ego is not satisfiable. The ego is not fulfilled. It cannot be fulfilled. It's not designed to be fulfilled. The ego is designed, the present ego is designed to keep you chasing behind shit all your life. And then you look up and you discover you haven't gotten what you were chasing behind, the feeling of it, the fulfillment of it. And you didn't know that it wasn't possible. The only thing that is possible to fulfill you is when you go after what your first mind leads you to do. Now, because you're going after it for the right reason. Later on in the process, or for those of you who are interested, you might want to come to the Soul Focus and check us out on our next workshops and whatnot, so you can hear more about the second mind, more about how our job is to transform the second mind such that it will, or not necessarily transform it, but create another second mind that matches our first mind, so we can get back into one mind. I'm M, CEO of the Soul Focus Group, super coach, and I love talking to you. Thank you for listening today. And if you have any questions, please email me at Mahdi at soulfocusgroup.com. Mahdi at soulfocusgroup.com. I love to hear from you. I love to interact with you. Peace. Take care.